It's Natalie Blazin here. I just thought I'd do a quick video on how to make a dampener for a drum head out of an old drum head. So here we go, things that you're going to need. You probably need like a normal everyday Stanley knife, utility knife. You need a Sharpie. You'll definitely need at least a thumbtack, and you'll also need a little bit of string and a ruler. And of course I've got my drum here. Now this is the drum that I'm going to change the head on. I'm going to put a Remo head on this, but for the moment this here is going to be going on my drum kit for practice at home. So I'm going to take my Sharpie, and if you look to where the lugs are and you just put your ruler across, and you can see that from lug to lug it's about there, because we want to find the center of our drum. So again, we're doing that now. That's pretty much going to be the center. I hope you can all see that as part of what I'm going to do. Now, when we do the actual drum, we are going to not want to get the area that is sort of slipping over the edge. We want to get right on that edge. I'm going to take the actual head off this drum. I probably should have mentioned before that you will need some sort of drum key, because we are going to be taking the head off. So here we go, just quickly taking the head off. So this is the head I'm going to put on it later on. This is just it's a coated Batter Emperor. It's a Remo. I really like Remo. This isn't an endorsement. I'm not being paid to say that. I actually just like the Remo heads. I like a coated head, so it will be white. But this is white. However, it is just the crappy one that came with this particular kit. I hate the sound of it. As you can see, it's dirty around the edges. I'm not sure if you can see the dirt in there. I mean, I think I bought this off Facebook Marketplace. The guy said they had it sitting around in a cupboard for a very long time. So I'm just going to remove the drum for the moment. And I'm going to actually clean that snare up before I do anything with it. So what you have here is our little hole. So what I'm going to do, or we're going to make a hole actually, rather. So just with my little pin, I'm going to put that right in the center of where I want that to cut. And I'm going to just move my cutting mat over into the middle of the board so you can see what it is I'm going to do now, because I am going to be cutting in a second. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that tack out, because I know where that hole is. I'm going to flip it over to the other side, and I'm going to pop the tack in here. I'm going to slightly push it into the board underneath so it doesn't move around, because I don't want it to move. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just tie this section around here, because this is where I want it to go. Okay, so this is what that looks like now. Now I'm just going to cut a little bit of extra. So if you can see, I'm not sure if you can see as far as where I'm cutting, but I'm going to cut about here. I'll just give it a bit of extra because I need some wiggle room with that. Now, as I said, we can use this knife, or we can use my craft knife, which I think will probably be easier in the long run. So what I want to do is just kind of gauge where I want this knife to go. And I'm going to, I want it to go in here, okay? So that's slightly, I'd say that's about where I want it to go. I'm just going to tie the string to the knife so you can see what I'm doing later. I'm not going to go through the whole fumbling part of me trying to do the knife, so give me a moment. So the next thing I found to do, so I've tied it to the knife. Now the best thing to do, I want it to sort of cut about here, so I've made that right. So what I'm going to do, so it doesn't move on the knife, I'm just going to quickly throw a little bit of sticky tape on it. Probably should have added that in the things that you needed at the start. Okay. So now we're ready. We're actually ready to cut. So I'm going to push this into where I want it to go. And all I want to do is hold it in place and just move it around. And it should, oh, here we go. This is the hard part, okay? So it will get loose on you as you are pulling it. This has happened before, so I should have remembered. And as you can see, sorry, so there's the main cut. So that's the edge of the drum head, which is going to be discarded. It's disgustingly dirty anyway. I'm going to show you what I have as my other ring, so you get a bit of an idea of the distance that you want from it. This is a store-bought ring, one that I bought. This is on my snare that I currently have. As you can see, if we look at this in diameter, it's about, I'm not sure if you can see, it's about an inch. Or if we're looking at it in centimeters, it's about 2.5 centimeters. Okay, so what we want to do is look at 2.5 centimeters inwards. So if we do that, I'm just going to quickly put 2.5 centimeters here with my Sharpie here, just in a few places around, so we can make sure that we're hitting that 2.5 centimeter mark. What I want to do now is get my knife into a position where it is sitting on this. Now, sometimes you might need to go, okay, I'm going to change my knife depending on how it is that we're doing, but you need to keep the same tension and the same string length the whole time. So I might just take this off. So what I'm going to take the sticky tape off here, and I'm just going to fix it so it's pretty much dead straight. It's almost straight up and down. It's on a slight angle, but it shouldn't matter too much. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to slowly move this around, and hopefully it's going to cut as planned. I need to put another scalpel blade on, I reckon. Okay, now what I have done is on this side, you might see there was a few more dots. You might see just around the edges that I added to it. The knife, for some reason, is as blunt as, I thought it was a really sharp knife, but it seriously isn't. I decided not to use this knife. This knife is really sharp, however, it took more string. I didn't want to bother doing that. So from the edge, I just marked a few more places on the inside, got my pair of trusty scissors, as you do, and then voila, this is what we have. So this is the ring that will sit on top of my snare drum now to make sure that it dampens the sound. Now, I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to have it this side so it doesn't have all of the black dots on it, although that side doesn't look too bad. But I'm going to just give this a good clean up. You can do this with a magic eraser if you want, or sometimes just a bit of spray and wipe, like a scourer. It doesn't need to be too rough, but this is just seriously as plastic as they come as a head. This is the original, this is the one that is store-bought. As you can see, there's a slight difference in the size. That's okay, I'm not too worried. This is one that I actually use for my stage snare. So this one is just going to be the ring that I use at home. So hopefully that's given you some ideas on how you can make a really cheap dampener for an extra snare at home, or if you've broken a skin and you want a dampener instead of putting one of those moogles on it, or a bit of tape or anything like that. Yeah, so we're going to pop that on. So basically, when I put the new head on, thanks Remo, who did not sponsor this at all, I'm just going to pop this on top like so, and that's going to make sure that it dampens the sound. So I hope this has helped somebody who needs to do this, and I look forward to making another video hopefully soon. Okay, thanks and peace out.